Lieutenant Mara Veyn sat alone on the bridge of the Halcyon Watch while encrypted signals scrolled silently across her console. Fractured moonlight reflected across the viewport glass like a dying lantern. "Lieutenant," said the tactical officer nervously, "another relay burst just came through from the Divide." Mara kept her eyes on the screen. "Source?" she asked. "Dead Buoy Network, Old War frequencies." Mara muted the display before anyone else could read it. "Route it to my station only." Hours later, Mara remained on the bridge while most of the crew rotated into rest cycles. A younger officer studied her uneasily. "You've been awake for almost 20 hours, the junior officer said quietly. "No one stationed near this border sleeps anymore," Mara replied. The officer hesitated before speaking again. "You really think war's coming back?" Mara watched distant patrol lights drift through darkness beyond the viewport. "I think someone's trying to make sure it does." Far beyond Silver Pact territory, Commander Kael Rhys reviewed tactical telemetry from inside the surveillance halls of Nereza 9. Towering displays surrounded him like walls of cold light. "Silver Pact patrol density increased overnight," said the Void analyst beside him. Kael folded his arms. "No attack posture?" he asked. "Not officially." Kael stared at the projections silently. "Then someone's escalating carefully." Across the Divide, fleets gathered around disputed systems while diplomats continued pretending peace still existed. Civilian transports vanished from contested routes. Defense stations activated dormant weapon systems. And somewhere behind every official statement, fear quietly spread through the border systems. 3 nights later, Mara received a transmission with no signature and no authentication. Only coordinates. "You shouldn't have contacted me again," Mara said quietly into the encrypted channel. "You answered anyway," Kael replied. "That doesn't make this less dangerous." Recon patrols soon began reporting unusual activity near abandoned mining sectors. Silent stations powered online without explanation. Sensor ghosts appeared between asteroid corridors. Entire civilian routes emptied overnight. The border itself no longer felt stable. Warning alarms echoed through the bridge of the Halcyon Watch. "Void formations entering disputed lanes," announced the captain. "They're not hiding anymore," said a tactical officer. Mara stepped toward the command displays. "Maintain distance," she ordered. "No firing solutions unless ordered." "You think they'll show the same restraint?" asked the captain. "No," Mara answered. Inside Void Command, Kael reviewed new strike authorizations with growing disbelief while senior officers watched him carefully. "Authorize tactical strike assessments against Silver Pact supply corridors," ordered the Void commander. "Civilian routes?" Kael asked sharply. "Future threats." Kael's expression hardened. "That's not the same thing." "It is now," the commander replied coldly.
Use your brains. Play with friends.
Galaxy Conquest.
Do whatever it takes.
Skills Lounge.
You big nerd. Download now.
The Ashen Divide drifted toward war while abandoned stations silently watched from the debris fields. Somewhere deep inside the asteroid belt, Mara and Kael prepared for one final meeting. The abandoned refueling station groaned softly around them while emergency lights flickered overhead. "You shouldn't have come here," Mara said. "You asked me to," Kael replied. "That was before fleet mobilizations." "You think we're being watched?" Mara glanced toward the darkened corridors surrounding them. I think we always were. Then Mara noticed movement beyond the viewport. Don't move, she whispered. What is it? Kael asked immediately. Drone. Military. Definitely. Kael stared toward the drifting machine silently. Then this meeting was never secret. 3 days later, the war officially began. Emergency broadcasts flooded military frequencies across the divide. Civilian medical convoy destroyed near the border corridor, declared the emergency transmission. Void attack signatures confirmed, said the tactical officer beside Mara. Mara's expression darkened instantly. That confirmation came too quickly. What are you saying? The officer asked. I'm saying someone wanted this war. Military retaliation spread faster than investigations. Inside command centers across both factions, officers prepared for full-scale conflict. Retaliation authorization approved, announced the Void commander. You're escalating without evidence, Kael argued. We're surviving. Kael stared at the tactical displays in disbelief. No, he said quietly. You're feeding the fire. The border systems erupted into violence. Missile trails crossed silent vacuum. Point defense batteries illuminated shattered wreckage. Entire fleets maneuvered through asteroid fields while damaged cruisers burned quietly in darkness. War had finally returned to the divide. Then Mara saw the tactical confirmation appear across her display. Enemy command vessel acquired. Kael's ship. We have firing solution, shouted the tactical officer. Mara's hand froze above the controls. Hold fire, she said quietly. Lieutenant? I said hold fire. Elsewhere across the battlefield, Kael reviewed incoming bomber trajectories aimed directly at the Halcyon Watch. Silver destroyer exposed, reported the Void pilot. Redirect bombers, Kael ordered. That vessel's vulnerable. Kael never looked away from the tactical display. I know exactly which vessel it is. Far from the battlefield, intelligence officials watched both anomalies unfold simultaneously. Both officers hesitated during combat, said the intelligence aide. Not hesitation, the director replied calmly. Attachment? The director nodded once. Yes.
Zentara 1. Ivy League-educated engineers with real Fortune 500 experience. We architect real-time systems that are reliable, scalable, and production-ready. We optimize mobile and web performance for real devices, not just demos. From customer products to admin tooling, we deliver complete platforms. Need senior engineering execution from prototype to launch? Book a call at Zentara1.com or email hello@Zentara1.com.
The tribunals began before the battle officially ended. Both governments already knew who they intended to sacrifice. Intercepted messages illuminated the chamber walls. Every meeting, every transmission, every private moment transformed into evidence. Mara stood silently while guards secured restraints around her wrists. Hands forward, ordered the guard. You don't need restraints, Mara replied. Protocol! Mara almost laughed. Funny, protocol suddenly matters again. Kael's arrest happened less than an hour later. Commander Kael Rhys, you are charged with treason against the Void Enclave, declared the guard. You already decided the verdict, Kael replied. That isn't my concern. Kael lowered his eyes briefly. No, he said quietly. That's the problem. The tribunal convened aboard an isolated station orbiting a gas giant. Silver Pact and Void Enclave officials sat together beneath cold overhead lighting. Both governments agree the relationship endangered regional stability, declared the tribunal official. Regional stability? Mara repeated in disbelief. That's what we're calling paranoia now? Kael asked. No one answered him. One by one, surveillance records illuminated the chamber. Intercepted transmissions, hidden meetings, altered tactical logs. "You monitored us for years," Mara said quietly. "We monitored a threat," replied the Void official. Kael looked toward the tribunal. "No," he said. "You monitored people trying not to become monsters." The tribunal official folded his hands calmly. "Do either of you deny the charges?" "No," Kael answered immediately. "Lieutenant Veyn?" Mara remained silent for several seconds. "Did any of it matter?" she finally asked. No one answered her. The execution chamber overlooked endless storms swirling beneath the station. For the first time in years, both officers seemed calm. "You still afraid?" Kael asked softly. "No," Mara replied. "Neither am I." Mara stared through the observation glass. "That feels strange. Maybe because there's finally nothing left to lose." The execution systems activated automatically. "Sentence confirmed," announced the cold artificial voice. "Final authorization received. Proceeding." Far outside the station, two brief flashes reflected silently across the clouds below, and then the orbit fell quiet again.